IBHA.
Hi, I'm Jahnavi, and I'm very pleased to introduce you to Orla Reilly Hazra. She's from Florida, US Cosmos. What is your big history? What is your story, your narrative?
I was always a big historian, but I had to find my own path in there. So, big history as our collective story. I didn't have a collective story. I didn't have a sense of being part of a large collective because my parents met in Ireland and then they emigrated to Canada, where I was born. And then my father got a job in the United States. So my mother and I moved back to Ireland. So I lived there for a while. Then we lived in California for a while. Then we moved over to Asia. We lived in different countries in Asia. And then it came back to the States. By the time I was 16, I'd lived in 6 countries and attended 7 schools. Sometimes historians kind of go down a narrow silo. And I was just forced to look at so many different variables in my life at an early age, and no sense of continuity other than the day to day, because the languages were different, the food was different. And so the blessing in all of that was that I kind of developed an ability to see patterns. I mean, to stay sane, I had to see patterns of continuity. And so I saw the rich, huge variety of cultures and ways of expressing life. And so what happened, my first entry into the sense of a collective was when I was in a biology class when I was 15. And the moon rocks had just come back from the Apollo mission. And there was a long line snaking around for all these people going to look at the moon rocks. And we were looking at the amoeba, and we were learning the 7 characteristics of living things: feeding, breathing, movement, excretion, growth, reproduction, and sensitivity. So I remember looking down at that microscope and seeing those characteristics with, the sense of kind of being on the moon, having seen Earth rise, that memory, all of that was going on culturally at the same time. And I had this realization that the little amoeba and all the 1 cells in my body and everything was doing the same thing. It was the first time I felt as if I was part of a large collective. And so I began to study addiction studies. And so I was doing addictions counseling for a while. And I noticed that with addiction, there was kind of this traumatic sense of separation, and then needing to come to rely on something outside of ourselves for grounding and meaning. So I went back to school and studied spirituality and spiritual direction. And then with the journey of the universe, the universe story with Thomas Berry and Brian Swim, then I really got a sense, okay, I'm part of a collective. I'm part of a collective. And then I came to realize that the problems that we're facing is because we've lost a sense of being part of a larger collective. So that was kind of my journey in, and it was through story, through narrative. So I was looking at my own alienation and people around me, the awakening, and then the connection that was coming as a result. So that's really how I came in. It was more my own journey of trying to find meaning and a sense of being involved in something much larger than myself as an agent for healing. We're bound together in this in this unfolding mystery.
You can find out more about Orla in the description below. And please do like, share, comment, and subscribe to International Big History Association's YouTube channel.
IBHA.